Welcome to the Venga Boys, a story about three special triplet boys from Chile who could have the biggest future in football any players have ever seen. But the story was going to be a long one. There could be ups, there could be downs. We were going to find out what happened. But the story doesn't start with our three young stars. It starts in the early 80s with an old Chilean legend, Disco Dave Diaz. So the story starts here in Chile, a country in South America, and it starts with an old player of O'Higgins Football Club, Disco Dave Diaz. Nicknamed Disco because even though the 70s was over, young Dave absolutely loved the music. He had pictures of John Travolta on his bedroom wall. Now, even though he played 10 years for O'Higgins FC, young Disco Dave Diaz never ventured out of Rancagua very much, and in fact he only ever played for Chile once, getting a cap in a friendly against Brazil in 1983. But now in the modern day, he milked that cap for all it was worth. He called himself a Chilean international superstar agent, but this superstar agent had fallen on hard times. Recently, Disco Dave had been caught in a fraud and tax scandal. Always looking out for himself, he'd been cutting corners, trying to make as much money for himself as possible. The taxman found out, stripped his finances, and he lost all his clients. So Disco Dave, with about $50 left in his pocket, did what he did best. He went out to a local nightclub, he picked up a girl, he took her back to an hotel, and he gave her some sweet, sweet loving. Now in the early hours of the morning after, the sun was coming up and Disco Dave was making his way home to his apartment down a back alley when he heard the familiar sound of young kids with bare feet playing football. And what Dave was about to see and witness was about to change his life and those boys' lives forever. He was witnessing three lads play the most amazing football he'd ever seen. So Dave, knowing talent when he saw it, got hold of the lads, took them back to their own house, and wrote up a contract with their father to become not only their manager but their agent. He got in touch with his old club where he still had some contacts, O'Higgins FC, who had just recently renovated their stadium for the Copa America, and he declared to the world and the press that he had found Chile's greatest talents ever. Three triplet brothers that could play in three separate positions that he reckoned could carry the country to a World Cup final. Now the fans were excited and so were the board. They knew they had some talent here and they took Dave up on his offer and they signed all three of them up to youth contracts. First up we had Lucas Venga, a very talented ball playing centre half. Next there was Matteo Venga, an attacking flair visionary central midfielder. And last but not least we had Santiago Venga, a poacher with the most natural finishing ability the world was going to ever see. Now the lads have been playing for the youth team for a while but started to train with the main team. The manager couldn't hold them back anymore. These three lads needed to step it up. Even though they're only 17 years old, they needed to start playing for O'Higgins FC, and that's what's going to happen. They were going to become first team players. But I think these lads were bigger than O'Higgins FC. I think these lads are going to have one of the biggest futures in world football. But we know from experience, potential's potential. You've got to realise that potential to become special. Now, were they going to become special? We were going to find out. This is the story of the Venga Boys. Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to the Venga Boys, another triplet experiment on my channel. I did one recently called the Liverpudlian Triplets. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'll put a link down below. Put a bit of a backstory to this one as well, like I did with that, just to give the episode a bit more depth. Maybe you care about the characters a bit more. This one's going to be a bit different. Triplets again, but it is a bit different. You've maybe seen that in the intro, but these lads are all going to be playing in different positions. They've not got a father figure. They have, but he's their agent this time, and we're going to have a look at how that works out. And I'll show you bits and bats before we get going. But yeah, thanks for checking out this video. If you do enjoy it, make sure you smash the like button. If you're brand new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. Again, my channel's done really well recently. I've had loads of new subs, so if that's you, thank you. And if you're an old sub, thank you. Thank you for staying with me. It's only a hobby. I love doing it. but I won't be able to do it without you. So seriously, I do appreciate it. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun with this. A lot of fun. So let's get into it. Well, we're going to start the episode here with Disco Dave Diaz, the agent who has now taken on these 3 boys and nurtured them since they were young lads. Became like a second father to them. Now, back in his day, obviously he was a player, but when he was an agent, before he got done for fraud and tax evasion, you know, he used to be a bit of a wanker, basically. Always out for himself instead of his client. Now he turned over a new leaf, and when I've made him in the editor, I made sure that he doesn't want a big book, so he doesn't want a lot of clients, so he should stick with just these 3 boys as long as they stick with him, because they can always sack him if they want. We'll have to wait and see. They are all friends though, so again we'll have to wait and see what happens. But he's basically not going to tout them out to big clubs. He's happy if they're happy. He's just going to try and get them the best deal possible. So I'm hoping he's going to nurture these 3 and look after their careers better than the Liverpool players, because they didn't have a really good agent looking after them. These boys have got Disco Dave Diaz, but they are starting off a little bit better. I've made them a little bit better, and obviously the different players are all playing in different roles, but they do have -10 potential. So anything can happen. Could go one way or the other, and that's what I love about this. It's going to be exciting to see what career paths they take. And we're going to start at the back. We'll start with Lucas Venga, the centre half. Here we are on Lucas. Straight away you'll see he's a pretty good player already at 17 years old. He's never played for the youth team of Chile though yet. He's not even played for Chile yet. It's all a fresh start internationally. But he has been playing for the youth team of O'Higgins for 3 years. I'll look in a minute. But what I've done with each player is I've obviously let the editor decide how good they are from their potential. But I made sure each player had at least one 20 attribute to suit their role. So I've given him 20 tackling. So, you know, he's a good player. He's not even a Wonderkid, so weirdly. He should be. But he should be good. Now also, reputation-wise, I've not given him massive reputations. I was hoping by giving him small reps, they might have a few years in Chile to help O'Higgins grow as a club and to develop in the homeland. Because I'm pretty sure eventually they're going to go to Europe. It just depends what kind of clubs they go to in Europe. Checking his history, you'll see that for yourself. He's had 3 years now playing for the youth team, playing more and more as the years have gone on. But now at 17, he's ready for first team action. And if we look at his personal information, you'll see, you know, he is from Chile. That's it. Speaks Spanish. You know, he's got his brothers here. He loves his brothers. That's his manager, I think. And you've got Disco Dave, who is his agent. Now he's got preference to play for O'Higgins, but he got a Chelsea shirt when he was a kid. All 3 boys were given kits when they were little lads, and they ended up supporting them teams, looking from afar, dreaming that one day they become superstars. So he's always had a little preference to play for Chelsea. We'll see if that happens. I don't know. Apart from that, they're not bothered. They just want to do the best they can. I can't wait to see what they do. Next up is Matteo Venga. He can play in the centre, also as an AMC. He's probably not as good as his brother yet. He's got a lot more pink. But, you know, he's got room to grow. I still think he's going to be a good player. They're all naturally fit. I made sure they're all naturally fit because it gives them a better chance of having a longer playing career. I've given him 20 passing, but the computer's knocked it down to 19. It does that sometimes. I don't know why. Again, like his brother, they all started at the same time. He's played 3 years. He's played a few more games than his brother and scored a few more goals running from midfield. And again, he's friends with his brother, friends with his manager, friends with his agent. But little Matteo Venga was given an old Liverpool shirt when he was a boy, so he's always dreamed of playing for Liverpool Football Club. Again, will that come true? Last but not least, it's Santiago Venga. And he's probably turned out the best, hasn't he? The young poacher. He's turned out pretty well, to be fair. Now, I only gave him finishing, but he's got flair. He's a good player already. I'm expecting big things from Santiago Venga. See for yourself as well, he's played for the youth team for 3 years. Last year, he was on fire, scored 24 goals in 29 games. And he's just forced his manager to put him in the main team, even though he's only 17. And again, information-wise, he is Chilean. He's friends with his brother, his manager and his agent. And the little lad was given a United shirt. He picked the best one, didn't he? He was given a United shirt as a boy. So he's always dreamed of playing for Manchester United. He's a Manchester United lad. Will that happen for him? Oh, I can't wait to find out. And this is where they're starting at O'Higgins Football Club. Named after a famous Chilean independence dude, like the first president of Chile. Like the early 1800s. So, you know, they're a decent club. If we have a look at the history, they've not won much though. They're like a mid-table team, from what I can gather. The reason I picked him is because they're called O'Higgins. It's easy to say. Facilities-wise, though, they're not bad now. They've got decent training facilities. But it's a stadium. It's not massive, and they don't own it, right? Council own it. They do own the training ground, but they don't own the stadium. But it's actually really good. It's been modernised. It was built years ago, but it got modernised because Chile hosted the Copa America in 2015, I think. So whenever they hosted it recently, this stadium got an upgrade for the tournament. So it's in fantastic condition. This is a really good place for the boys to start their footballing career. And this is a league I've really fancied having to go at for a while, especially I'm a journeyman. I do intend to head to South America at some point. And I definitely will be loading this up. The Chile league is a playable league. We can all have a go of it if you want. Don't have the kits in game, but you can easily find the kits if you want. Sort it outside. I found my kits from there. I put a link to them in the description, I think. But like, if we have a look at the season preview, you know, there they are, they're fourth. I don't know if that's because they've got the young lads in the team. Lucas Vega's made it, Santiago Venga, all three Vegas have made the dream team, and they bloody well should, because they've got some talent, they've got some like super potential. But yeah, I was excited to see what happened. So shall we check in? Shall we zoom forward a bit and find out how the boys got going? Well, here we are, and the boys are now 21. I think they're about to turn 22 in September. And you'll see O'Higgins have had a managerial change. One of my favourite all-time players. Back in the Champ Manager days, I always signed him, and Hernan Crespo was a beast. Is he a good manager? Pretty good, isn't he? No offence, but what's he doing in Chile? I think he could do alright for himself. Used to be director of football at Parma. But yeah, I think he looks like a good manager, so maybe he can do alright by O'Higgins. But he's going to have to do it without the boys, because the Venga boys, they've packed their bags. They're off. Well, let's start as we meet to go on at the back, and we'll work our way forward. And we're going to start with Lucas Venga, the centre half, who can cover as a defensive midfielder. He's definitely improved as a player. I think that's obvious to see. And he's at Borussia Dortmund, so he's got his move. He's the lad who fancied a crack at Chelsea, but he's got no preference. And his agent, Disco Dave Diaz, will just look for the best deal for him. So obviously Borussia Dortmund gave him the best deal. He's only on 20 grand a week, and he's worth 61 million now. Let's look at his career stats, and he played one season in the Primera Division in Chile. He had a good year as well, didn't he, for O'Higgins, and then made his £4.7 million move, now worth 60. If Borussia Dortmund ever sell him, wow, they're going to make some freaking profit. Let's check out some of his milestones. When it comes to competitions for O'Higgins, he made his international debut 3 years ago against Spain, and he scored his goal in the same year against South Africa. Did he win any awards with O'Higgins? Best 11, Young Player of the Year, 3rd place. I wonder if his brothers beat him to the others. Team of the Year and so on. So he did all right. Now he's gone to Dortmund, and wow, awards everywhere. Look at all these. Wow. I'm guessing he's like Player of the Week and everything. This is insane. If we go to competitions, has he won anything with these yet? He's won the Bundesliga. So he's Super Cup runners-up, and he's just won the Bundesliga. That's brilliant. So he's won a title already, a major title, one of my favourite major titles. So well done, Lucas. Next up, it's Matteo Venga. Matteo is the kid who got a Liverpool shirt and grew up as a Liverpool fan, and he's found himself at Manchester United. It's a funny old world, isn't it, football? The young 20-year-old Chilean, 35 caps and 7 goals for Chile, so he's playing for the national team as well. And I think he's definitely improved. He's definitely improved. A lot less pink attributes, a lot more yellows. And he's playing for the biggest club in the world, and he's on a better wage than his brother. He's worth less money, 53 million, but he's on 87 grand a week. So Disco Dave did all right. And he's a Wonderkid as well. That's awesome. Now, unlike his brother, he played 2 years at O'Higgins. So he was a bit more faithful to the club. That's good, though. I'm happy about that. And then he eventually made his move for 6.5 million to Manchester United. Hopefully, again, O'Higgins, you're going to have a future fee thing to make some money one day. But he's been in the Premier League now. First year, bedded in. Last year, played nearly the whole season. So, how's he been doing? When it came to his time at O'Higgins, it looks like he made his debut with his brother and scored on his debut, which is awesome. Awards, let's have a quick look. Again, like his brother, but I think he's won a few more here. I don't even know what a lot of these mean. Maybe you do if you want to pause it, but fair play. I mean, he was there for an extra year, wasn't he? He stayed in Chile for 2 years. Switch over to United, and he's won awards here. Young Player of the Year, PFA Young Player of the Year. Just won that. But has he won anything good with United? Oh, FA Cup runners-up. I won't say who they got beat by because it'll just depress me. I'm a United fan. But this is the Liverpool fan at United. Now we've got to see where the United fan went. You can't write this shit, can you? You can't, can you? I love it. I love Football Manager. United fans ended up at Liverpool. Liverpool fans ended up at United. Is that going to affect their careers? I have no idea. But here's Santiago Venga, the superstar striker who has definitely improved as a player. 20 years old, played 33 times for his country, only scored 12 goals off, finds himself at Liverpool Football Club. But he's only just come to Liverpool Football Club. He was somewhere else. Interesting. This is pretty awesome. So he stayed 2 years with Matteo, while Lucas left after 1 year. Lucas went to Borussia Dortmund, and then a year later, his brother followed him to Borussia Dortmund. So for the past 2 years, 2 Venga boys have been together at Borussia Dortmund. Which means he should have just won the Bundesliga. So he's just won the Bundesliga, and Liverpool have gone, oh, we like a bit of that. We're going to spend 81 million on you. So he's had the first big transfer, and he's moved to Liverpool to start a career in the Premier League. So again, looks like he made his debut against Spain. He scored a year later, though. This is a striker. A year later, both his brothers scored before him. Weird. Award-wise, he was there for 2 years, so I'm guessing he's going to have loads of awards. Best player, Golden Boot. I'd expect that. Golden Boot runner-up in his first season as a 17-year-old. That's quite cool. If we go over to Borussia Dortmund, you won't look at all these. I mean, I don't know what all these mean. Maybe you do. But I'd say that's a good thing. Do you know what I mean? They look like they're probably individual awards. Generally, I have no idea what they are. But I'm going to say they're good. Competitions, we know that, don't we? Super Cup runner-up with his brother. And he just won the Bundesliga with his brother. And if we check on their agent and second father, their mentor, ex-Chilean international, played once, Disco Dave Diaz, and he stayed true to his word. He's not brought anyone onto his books. His sole goal is to look after these 3 boys and nurture them and give them the best career. And at the minute, you can't argue with Man United, Liverpool and Borussia Dortmund. 2 of them have won major titles, and Matteo Venga's at the biggest club in the world. So at the minute, things have got a plan. A lot better than the Scouse boys. I would jump forward now to when the boys are 25. They're going to be 26 later this year, but it is February. It's halfway through a season. Reason being is the other file got corrupted, so I've had to use an older one just to come in when they're about to hit the peak, or peaking really. There's not a lot more they can improve on. And this is Lucas Venga. And last time we saw him, he was at Borussia Dortmund. He'd won the Bundesliga, and now he's been at Barcelona. It looks like he might have gone there quite soon after, because he's been at Barcelona ages. He's played for them 128 times. So last time we saw him, he just won the Bundesliga with Borussia Dortmund. Now he stayed there for another 2 years until 22-23. He was signed for 51 million by Barcelona, and he's played consistently there ever since. And obviously now he's halfway through a season, but he has had outstanding average ratings every single year. Now I'm not going to look at the awards anymore because there's a lot of them, and these lads seem to pick them up for fun, and it shows you what they won every week. So you can imagine he's won a lot. Towards the end, we'll see if any of them ever won a Ballon d'Or, but we can check that at the end. But for now, we're just going to look at what they done competition-wise. And it looks like he never won anything. Last 2 years at Dortmund, didn't win anything. After winning the title, he lost the Super Cup. So how's he done at Barcelona? Because he's been here a while now, only 4 years. Well, he's not done bad. He's not done bad. He's won the Copa del Rey, won the Super Cup, won the league, won the Super Cup, lost the Copa del Rey. So he's not done bad now. He's won a major title in Dortmund. He's won a major title in Spain. On to his brother Matteo Venga, and he knows exactly where his bread is buttered. He's staying at Manchester United. Well done, kid. Even though he's a Liverpool fan, well done, lad. Although he's on a big contract now, he's worth 90 million. He's definitely improved as a player. His first touch is brilliant. He can pass the ball through it. The eye of a needle. He's a legend, and he's on a massive weekly wage. Disco Dave Diaz, on his drunken night home, walking down that back alley, he found himself a freaking goldmine, didn't he? And Matteo Venga, he's doing alright. Now, last time we've seen him, he just had his breakout year at Old Trafford, first full season, and he's not really been out of the team ever since. Don't get me wrong, last year, he's halfway through this year, so let's kind of ignore that. But, I mean, he's been fantastic. And again, his average ratings are amazing. But competition-wise, he's won a few things. I like the look of some of these. League Cup twice, Premier League. He's won the Champions League. He lost the Community Shield. Who cares? Won the Super Cup. Won the world. He's a world champion. Won the League Cup again. He's won the League Cup 4 times, and then he's runner-up in the Champions League. But I mean, the only thing he yet won there is the FA Cup, Champions League winner, World Club Cup winner, Premier League winner. Hey, Matteo Venga. And last but not least, it's the Man United fan who's at Liverpool, and he's still at Liverpool. So, you know, him and his brother are loyal lads, and he's a freaking awesome player, isn't he? Hey, scores a goal every other game for his country. He's turned into a really, really good player. Well, last time we looked, he'd only just signed for Liverpool, remember? Well, now he's had a good few seasons with them, and he plays, and he scores goals, and he's had a couple of seasons with an average rating of 8. So, I mean, that's pretty special. Even like a season like that where he scored 20 and 30, you maybe expect a few more goals from him, maybe, but he must do a lot more for the team to get an average rating of 8. Competition-wise, he's done really well as well. So it looks like they're battling with United. These two are battling against each other, the two old rivals. Won the Europa League. He's won an FA Cup. He's won the Community Shield. Won the Premier League. He's won the Champions League. I mean, he's a world champion as well. He's won more Premier Leagues than his brother. I mean, this is insane, but so cool to see. Now also, it's not just about what they do on their own domestically. The whole nation was wondering, could these kids become the spine of a future Copa America winning team or even a World Cup winning team? Now Chile, I think at the beginning of the game were about in the 50 region of rankings. They're now 21st, and those 3 boys are the 3 best players on the team, and they've obviously got some other good players. Who's the next? Who's this geezer? Plays for Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, you've got him and Santiago up front, Chile. You should be winning a World Cup. And if we look at Disco Dave, he stayed true to his word. Again, he's not got anyone else on his books. He's just got these 3 boys at United, Liverpool and Barcelona. I mean, that is pretty special. They're all on big wages. They're all worth a lot of money. And hopefully they could do something special for the country. But when it comes domestically, they're all winning leagues. And they've all been really successful. Welcome to 2034. The lads are now 33 years old. About to turn 34 years old, right on the tail end of the career. Probably only got a couple of years left. But we find Lucas isn't with Barcelona anymore. No. He steps up a level to the biggest team in the world, Manchester United. Well, last time we saw him, he was at Barcelona and he stayed there for another year until his £81 million move to Old Trafford, where he's been now for bloody hell, a long time. Playing a lot of games. Never dropped below a 7. This kid, he's got to be the best centre-half in the world. Even at 33, he's a beast. Now, looking at his competition wins, I think he lost another Copa del Rey. He probably had enough at Barcelona. And he's signed for United, where if we go down here, it looks like he's been doing a lot for United. Carabao Cups. Lost an FA Cup, won a Carabao Cup. Won a Carabao Cup. Won the Premier League. Woo, won the FA Cup, that's good. Community Shield. Won a Champions League. Oh my god, this is awesome. And I think I've spotted a Chile. Won the Copa America. There you go. The nation was hoping the boys could do that. Or did all 3 boys do it? We'll find out. What's that? Confederations Cup came 3rd. Again, winning Premier Leagues. Won another Champions League. Now, I'm a Man United fan. I have not set this up in any way. I showed you the information at the start. They all had a dream of maybe playing for a team in the Premier League. But the one guy who wanted to play for United, well, doesn't at the minute. I can't see him, Liverpool selling him to United. But it's just random how the game's worked out. And he came to United and he's never left. Where his brother's been to Germany, won the title. Been to Spain and won the title. And now come to England and won the title with his brother. And I think played with his other brother, yeah. So Santiago is at Liverpool. They used to play at Dortmund together. So the lads have crossed paths. And now I bet they have some good banter. Because if you're not from England, Liverpool and the Manchester, it's not far apart. I can probably drive to Liverpool in 40 minutes. So, you know, they probably all live together. It's a good thing. Disco Dave Diaz, he's done alright by his lads. I'm just wondering about Chile. And why is Chile not on there? Was he injured? Last up, it's Santiago Venga, and he's still at Liverpool, 33. He went to Dortmund for that little stint, and then he signed for Liverpool, and he has been there forever. In the league, I'm guessing, I think it's 453 games he's played. And look at that, every year. I mean, I think, did we look at him actually? Is that last time we looked was there, wasn't it? So he's never had an 8 average rating season. He had them earlier on. But, I mean, he still gives you 20 goals a year, pretty much. If we check his milestones, he's been winning stuff. I'm going to have a look at the Premier League as well, because they've all spent the majority of their careers there. We'll have a look at who's been winning it, because United have won a few. Obviously, Liverpool have won a few. Won 2 out of the last couple. For God's sake, you know what I mean? They've won the Champions League. They haven't won the Champions League for a while, have they, since the last time we looked? This is the history of the Premier League, and it has been pretty much fought over by Liverpool United. Liverpool, I'd say, have won. They've won? Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 titles out of ever since we've been playing. United have won 3, 4. So Liverpool done twice as well. City sneaked in there with 1. Last Wenger to win one was Santiago Venga in 2029. So he's got a Ballon d'Or trophy. I'm happy about that. He's won a few others back in his early days as well with Liverpool. So it's just Santiago, isn't it? Well, they didn't win a World Cup, but they did win the Copa America. Although Matteo didn't play for some reason. The other 2 lads did. You might have noticed that. They came 3rd in a World Cup, which is pretty good. 3rd in the Copa America. So, you know, the nation was hoping these 3 boys could win them a major trophy, and they did. Well, 2 of them did. So I think the country can be proud of the Venga boys. Well, it's 2038. The lads are all 37, about to turn 38, and they've all retired from football now. And here's Lucas Venga. And last time I saw him was at United, 33 years old. He's been there a while, won a lot. That wasn't his last major club. No, that kid really did tour some of the biggest leagues and some of the biggest clubs. I think he had an amazing career. So that summer we last looked at, he went and signed at 33 to Paris for 41 million and gave them 3.5 years, or 4 years, his last year didn't play as much, of amazing football. Even his last year, he played till the very end at the highest level. And what's special is he won the league. So Bundesliga, La Liga, Premier League and League O. Lucas Venga, salute you, kid. Here we are with Matteo Venga, and Matteo wants to be a coach, but he's actually an under-23 manager at Birmingham. So fair play, he's got his National B licence, he's studying for his A. He spent 19 seasons at Manchester United, living in Manchester, lucky sod that he is. Although his last year looks like he didn't play and decided to retire. I mean, he had a great career. Unlike his brother, it looked like he started to tail off. But he's a midfielder, he probably lost a bit of pace. He probably still had the skill, didn't he? But his physical's probably dropped off. Last but not least is Santiago Venga. So they're all still about and wanting to carry on their careers. Whereas with the Liverpudlian triplets, only one of them became a coach. The other 2 just retired. Now, he wants to be a manager, classes himself as a manager, but he's finding himself without a job yet. And I think just like his brother, as he got older, probably lost a bit of pace. His career did tail off, but not too bad. Also like his brother, he didn't play a game in his last year, and the year before that his average rating finally dropped below a 7, and in 15 games he couldn't score. The poor old geezer. Yeah, he's definitely dropped off, didn't he? But what he gave Liverpool, you know. And we're going to end it with Disco Dave Diaz, who gave his life to these 3 lads in the end, didn't he? Never took anyone else on. I think he's probably going to retire himself. He's made enough money. 10% of them lads' earnings is laughing. Well, that is the end of the Venga boys. Hopefully you enjoyed it enough to smash the like button. I've enjoyed my time here in Rancagua. I think that's how you say it. In Chile, where O'Higgins are based. The lads grew up here, spent a few years here, and then boom, had the best careers ever. Like, awesome careers. Now, what I'll do this time is, if you want to have a bit of fun yourself, is I'll put the save file down below in the description. So this universe, I've shared it with the Liverpudlian triplets. So they're in that universe as well. So there's 2 lots of brothers there you can have a bit of fun with. These 3 though, wow. They're the ones you want to go for, trust me. They're brilliant, aren't they? Hopefully you enjoyed it. I've got a few more videos like this planned in the coming weeks. And it's just a bit of fun in it, had a bit of depth. I've enjoyed it, really have. So yeah, smash the like button. Go and watch my other videos. And if you do try out the save file of this, let me know how you get on with the lads. Maybe you'll take over O'Higgins. Try and keep him. Try and dominate Chilean football. or become Chile manager. You never know. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you next time. I've been Bood. You've been great. Bye-bye.